Good day, everyone, and welcome to the tutorial webinar series on the Advancing Excellence Readmission Tracker Tool, sponsored by the Care Transitions team of the Health Services Advisory Group. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to demonstrate how you can walk through your Advancing Excellence workbook and determine what might be causing problems for graphs and readmission formulas. In nearly every situation, a problem has resulted with the tool calculating information properly due to how the information was originally entered. It's like that old analogy of garbage in, garbage out. So it's very important to ensure that all of the nuances of the program are followed through. Like when you copy and paste information, you always want to make sure that you follow the sequence of paste special, values, and OK. Likewise, you also want to use information called clear content rather than delete. So it's really important not to use any shortcuts that we're so accustomed to using when we're on the computer. This is especially true with large volumes of data, and if you just delete data, you may jeopardize the integrity of the formulas and calculations of the tracker tool. Be particularly careful if you're copying and pasting data to a new workbook. Another common error that we see happening is that people skip over the census tab right here. This is extremely important. This is also a data entry point, and this information is going to be used to calculate your readmission rates further on with the reports. So it's very, very important that you enter the specific information that is asked for post-acute chronic care and for chronic long-term care for those two different populations of residents. It talks about what the average daily census is. There's a definition here, and also it gives you a hint of how you can actually put a number in if you don't have an exact number at the end of the month. You can check on this on your Admitted with Recent Discharge tab. I'm on the Admitted Recent Discharge page right here, and if I scroll all the way over to the right, there are two tables. One is for post-acute chronic care and chronic long-term care, and it has the nursing home admission rates and also the hospital discharge rates. And all of the information that I had entered into the census tab over here has been utilized to calculate information here. So as long as you see numbers, then your rates are calculating okay. And that means that your rates are going to be calculated appropriately on your readmission monthly reports. See how there's numbers here? Where people get into trouble, let me show you an example. If you ever see anything that looks like this, okay, where you've got alphabet numbers and pound signs and exclamation points where your numbers should be, then chances are there's been some data entry problems. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to go back. You need to make sure that your census has been completed. You also need to make sure that you don't have any errors, any duplications. You want to scroll down and make sure that all of the data that is listed in your drop-down bar are alphabet letters and there's no numbers that are accidentally typed in there. If you confuse alpha and numeric characters in your data entry, it could pose to be problems. So you want to just do a walkthrough and just make sure it's all alphabet letters. There's no empty spaces in between the lines or the names. And if you see any errors, then that's going to give you an idea of what you can focus on to change. Okay. Lastly, one other reason that we've determined to cause problems on the graphs is when the process of de-identifying is not done in the proper sequence. please see the webinar specifically on this topic for detailed information. But as a real quick synopsis, you will need to de-identify in this order. You want to start with the Admitted with Recent Discharge tab, then you're going to de-identify the information in the transfer log, and then lastly, you're going to de-identify the information in the drop-down list. And if you follow that exact sequence, chances are pretty good that all of your graphs and your information is going to come out properly. That concludes our tutorial webinar. We do encourage you to join the Advancing Excellence campaign and take advantage of resources available to you. If you have any questions about this webinar or using the Advancing Excellence Readmission Tracker tool, please contact a team member at Health Services Advisory Group and call us at 602-801-6916. Thank you and have a great day.